6:15. Okay, and we're gonna, review the minutes of August 27th. Does anyone have any changes they'd like to make to those minutes?
I will just note, I forgot to add Rob Nuri to the members who are, or the others present, so I'll just add him in.
Is he here?
I mean, at the last meeting, he was here.
Oh, he was, I
Yeah,
see.
So,
you're saying.
and we just want to
So
note him down.
Those are the changes.
Yep.
Okay,
That was the
so we're
one.
gonna add, okay.
And, I would just like the minutes to like that I did in fact do the thing that I said I would do. I emailed Ben John
Okay, yeah.
immediately following the
Oh,
the
yes.
meeting,
Yeah. I
And
can
then
add that.
down is,
the director of public works.
okay,
When we were talking about the parking signs.
Yes,
And-
yeah. And that has been addressed. It did not require a meeting of the public works committee,
mhm.
so.
Okay, so should we accept the minutes with that addition of Rob? No. All in favor?
You can just.
Aye.
We accept them.
Yeah.
Accepted. Okay, the agenda items. The first one is discussion and possible decision on landmark plaque for H.G. Wolf Office. And do we have a copy of that here?
I don't have the exact copy, but I have I'll just share can you guys see that on Zoom? This is the email that you guys were sent, by Dan Barker about the plaque. And it's just behind City Hall, this building, and I think he's painting it like bright, or not bright blue, but it's like a blue color. It was previously white.
The house?
Yeah, the house
House
is
blue?
yes.
Oh,
And so, because he was doing that, they took off the plaque it was the one that was behind the bushes,
we couldn't see.
which we couldn't see, which was one that we wanted to move. And then he said, they can put it back on the house or move it to a standalone post, which is something that we had discussed a lot previously. So, I thought this was a good idea to get us all on the same page, and we can decide, either one or two, either put it back on the house or, put it on the stand. So that was the main thing I thought we could discuss at this meeting.
Yes, I suggest that we put it closer to the sidewalk. Maybe let Dan tell us which he thinks is better, because the mayor did say that he wants people to be able to read about the house without having to go up to the house. So that would require, possibly on his property, but closer to either side of the sidewalk to the property. And, my suggestion would be, read through Ron's suggestion of using a company called, what was it, ARM or something? That he's used many times. He said, even though a steel post seems the strongest, he's used a 2x2.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, like 42 inches tall. And it's not only inexpensive, but we could easily do it. And we, meaning the city, could easily put that in the ground and then adhere this to it. And so that's my suggestion, rather than go to this. See, this to me does not look safe. And I'm worried about vandalism. I don't know about you, but that looks really thin. Even though it might be steel or titanium, it still looks really thin. And I'd much rather see a wood one. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Yes.
So for a wooden post, we do have additional long-term maintenance costs that we would not have with a powder-coated steel option. And so it would be short-term, it would be cheaper, but we would have to make our peace with a 10 to 25-year replacement cycle for it. And that when you when you
There's a lot going on.
when you add up all of the possible posts that we might have, that does start to become a non-trivial percentage of the committee's operating budget in any given year for post replacement.
Maintenance, you mean, yeah.
Well, yeah, maintenance and sooner or later replacement, the wood will not last forever.
No,
It's
that's
like,
correct. That's correct. We replaced a fence in our yard.
yeah,
And it was 10 years, and it rotted at
yeah,
the line of the ground, which is what you're talking about.
yeah, and if if you were to use like a black locust post or a cedar post, or, a synthetic material that looks like wood posts. Well, synthetic material, you might get a longer shelf life on, depending on the material. But I would be inclined to support a steel post over the wood just to avoid the maintenance costs. And we do have two of those options available.
Great. Do you have pictures of them? Is this one?
Yeah, so this was, I believe it's very similar to that one that was in the packet, that we showed you, and this is outside Middleton Station, that's why I was trying to get the street view, but the street view was from 2019, so it didn't have, this image. But I just taken a picture of it when I walked past, so this is very similar, to this, the mini post here, that goes in the ground. And I mean, we haven't had any issues, but I mean, it is attached more solidly
Yeah,
to that concrete
See, that's
post.
a problem.
Yeah,
That's too thin. I think we need, one that is thicker, or at least appears thicker.
Yeah, there was a thicker option, it looked like, in the bid packet.
That one?
yes,
That one,
yeah.
there. Does it say what that is?
It is an aluminum. Yeah,
3-inch square.
yeah.
And is that 202 the amount for the base only, or is that the base and the pedestal that you mount on?
So it would just be for this black pole portion of it, and then
Okay.
this area where it says like best text, that's where we would mount, this, we can mount the wooden backers and, the plat that we have.
I like that, I like that. I
I feel
think,
like this one better.
yeah, I like that, being, extruded aluminum, rectangular. What about what we take that style and size and do a couple bids from other people? Because to me, this price 202 is a little high.
Yeah, I mean, I did look around to try and find other ones, and this was unfortunately the only one I could find. So
And that's from what company is that?
it's from this Best X Signs, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daphne, I have a question for you. How much money is left in our budget this year?
We haven't used any of our funds, so we have $1,000.
Yeah, so how much do we have forecasted, things that you're reasonably certain we'll be spending money on?
I mean, right now it would just be, the main priority is, replacing some of these signs. So we have most of, the actual, these ones done, and then Charles just, made 5 of these
There-
wooden backers.
There are actually 7.
Oh, 7, okay, that's even better, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, at the most, would be around 7 signs we can maybe replace and then, move them off of the building or, keep the existing one on the building if for siding issues, but at least, getting a newer one and moving it closer to the sidewalk. And so, I mean, we were planning on doing, every, 2 or 3 every year kind of thing, so.
Yeah.
We could definitely, buy at least 2 or 3 of these posts and then, work on getting them installed and all of that.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah,
It looks like the angled post pedestal one has more options for the, I guess I'd call it the pedestal that's gonna hold the sign. What are the
Right.
dimensions of the signs that we're looking at? Because if you look down at the bottom, they've got significantly more size options than the skinny post.
yeah.
And do we know what
sorry.
the dimensions are at the moment?
Can you click the product specification?
It's just a PDF, so I don't know if we can,
Oh,
but
Okay, so the
Because that looks, a 16 by 20 might get us what we need. And those options aren't available on the skinny post. It looks
Right.
like, oh, I take that, wait, no. Yeah, there's only two sizes on the skinny post, and the largest is 6 by 6.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's a good point, Tom.
I think that takes the skinny one out of discussion, in my mind.
Yeah,
And
I believe this, the shiny panel itself is like 12 by 10. So this could maybe, if we just did this on the on that skinny post, that would work. But
Well,
if
no,
not,
but I think the largest is 6 by 6 on the skinny.
yeah, and I think that's just the that back square plate. So it could accommodate, something slightly
Probably
larger.
could hang over. Okay.
Right, yeah, but I mean, we wouldn't want to go any larger, like we couldn't, I think this is 17 by 17, this wooden post.
No.
There you go.
I think you gave me were 16 by 14.
Yeah. This is 16 by 14, but I wouldn't want to put this on that skinny one.
Yeah, I mean,
Correct. Well, and I think visually the angled post looks better.
Right. The one,
Yeah.
the second one.
My 2 cents worth.
Yeah, that's,
Thanks,
this
Tom.
one looks better.
Yeah,
And Charles brought up the point that the steel, or in this case, it's aluminum,
Yeah.
is less maintenance than if we were to suggest it, we would have said, yeah, but then in 10 years, you're gonna have to replace. And he's right. So we're thinking, get quotes on other people who make this size. So, is that, do we all like that particular base?
yeah, the only remaining concern that I have is that we will need to check the proposed installation area for utility easements.
Absolutely.
And for, a handful of other, like just any personal residential lines that may be serving that home. And we'll need to find an area that is not in a utility easement or yeah, potentially, over a line that serves the home for water, sewer, electric, something like that.
So the next step is for someone to contact the owner, say, we would like to put this closer to the street. Depending on whether you agree, then we would need to have someone come out and check and make sure we get a utility.
But does this get installed on?
Yeah, definitely. What is this installed on?
So
What is
there
the
are,
cost of it?
there are two options, for the base mount, there's surface and then in ground. So I believe the in ground could be, installed directly into the dirt, it would just be, probably a little bit lower, because it would have to go deeper to, be more stable.
That would be mounted over another steel post that is buried in the ground.
Yeah, something like that.
That's why I was wondering if you could click on the specs, but you said that's not
Unfortunately,
something that you can do.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably look it up on the website.
That's okay, we don't have to do that this
Okay.
time.
Yeah, or surface mount would be, we would pour, a smaller concrete pad or something, and then we can mount it to that. But that would also probably increase our cost a little bit, or something like that.
Yeah, we'd be looking at probably the yard of concrete.
Well,
Maybe that's it already.
yeah. Let's find out who would contact. Daphne, is that something that you would do, or Charles? You would contact the owner and discuss that with them?
Well, since the owner has, already reached out to, at least for this one, the HG Wolf House, they reached out to us to, ask us about putting on the post, so, yeah, I can reach out to them since they emailed
And you
us.
can show them this and that.
Yeah, and then we can figure out a location, at least for the HG Wolf House, since
So you'll do
the
that.
owner reached out to us first, yeah.
So you'll contact him and say, okay, and talk about the location,
That's Stan Barker, he used to be on the historical,
Did he?
society board,
right? So he's very familiar.
I think just after you.
Yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable just delegating the rest of this to staff until it's time to actually cite whatever we end up with.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to say that I like the in-ground mount, because if there's a reason something changes and we need to move it,
It's a lot less.
right, and someone doesn't need to come and re-pour footing, et cetera.
So let's look at more people who might have that style of post in a metal. This one is aluminum extruded, which means it's strong, but it's a little lighter. Probably better than something wise. So that will support a 16x20, which is, yeah. So you're gonna contact by email the owner?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, that next item is discussion of cedar plaque backers. We kind of discussed that before we began. And what do you think, Christie? You like this?
I think it's
We all,
gorgeous.
we all like it, yeah. And, decided that we would make that kind of a standard. Charles is making them, and he's talking about his suppliers too.
Well, there's only one cedar supplier that actually consistently stocks thick enough cedar in any reasonable distance. Unless you want to go to Home Depot. I would not recommend buying cedar at Home Depot.
Yeah, I think, I agree. So our discussion of the cedar plaque backers is that we all like it. Do we need to take a vote or just?
So the reason I brought it forward for discussion is because there isn't a consistent edge profile on the cedar backers throughout the city. Some of them use a round over, some of them don't use anything, some of them use a
Beveled.
yeah, an interesting beveled edge profile. Personally, I like the hand sanded look. It gives you the benefits of the round over without having to worry about tearing out and splintering on the router, which cedar is very prone to do.
And you would know that more than we will.
But, you know, it's really just a matter of preference for the committee. You know, if you want a different edge profile, let me know. And I will accommodate to the best of my ability.
I personally think that's great.
I like it like that. I think it's very attractive and it's, like you said, very natural looking. And I have no problems with that. Is this treated with anything at all?
Nope.
No, okay. So because it's cedar, it should withstand the weather quite well.
Yeah, it should last at least 10 years. Beyond that, it really depends on how much weather.
Well, here's an example of
Yeah.
what the Wolf House
Yeah.
did look like.
Yeah, so now it's blue, and then the plaque was behind this bush, so,
We couldn't see it anyway.
yeah.
Okay, so let's just say we're gonna, accept those backers, cedar. Tom, do you like that, style and everything?
I do.
And how about, I don't know how you pronounce your name, you,
Umima?
Umima, do you like it?
Yes, it looks good.
All right, so, I think we can say we proceed with accepting that. Now, with regard to the gas lamp, wouldn't
I'll
that be
drop the
something,
rest of these off for you tomorrow.
Okay,
Daphne.
great, yeah.
wouldn't the gas lamp be something to submit to the planning commission? That's not really a
Yeah.
landmark thing, is it?
Seconded. Yeah, so that was, I think this, so this was in that same email from Dan Barker. He had, found the gas, period accurate gas lamps, and I think this should be probably more under staff update than for discussion, because we've discussed a lot of streetlights with the Public Works Committee, and they have like a very specific specification, even like down to the light bulb and like the type that they need. And so like downtown Middleton we have like our own special ones, because it's like a little cute downtown look. And that was like a whole ordeal just with the Public Works to get our special little downtown streetlight. So I mean, this isn't far away, but adding another different type of streetlight can be pretty difficult. So I mean, if you guys are supportive of it, we could float it to Public Works, but I really don't know if that would be feasible. with
Yeah,
that.
I'm not
Yeah.
keen on it. Do you have a feel for the historical society?
No, I couldn't speak for them, but for myself, living in a different neighborhood, I feel like we should maybe get our historic districts straight before we start discussing what we're going to add to certain districts.
That's a good
That way, for those of us that are in, say, Saks Woods, it would then make sense to put gas lamps in a historic district and
Right.
not on my street.
So I would actually just, to build off of what Daphne said, I'd really like to caution members of this committee about the gas lamp idea in general, because what we're doing, if we adopt that, is we're asking Public Works to then install and maintain and pay for the continued operation of these gas lamps. And that sounds maybe a little bit trivial, but I assure you it's not, and it's not it's not a rounding error in the Public Works budget either. So if you're asking the Public Works Department to depart from the city's sustainability goals, potentially, if we're doing that, because these gas lamps do not fit with the sustainability goals in our comprehensive plan at all.
Are they legitimately gas operated?
If they are period accurate gas lamps, then yes, they would be
Yeah.
gas lamps.
Yeah, you're doing.
So
That
that-
for fire and
yeah, so that
vandalism.
there are a lot of issues. I can't speak for my fellow Public Works Committee members because we haven't discussed it, but I would be fairly surprised if gas lamps were met with enthusiastic approval there. And also just in terms of budgetary reality for the Public Works Department. We would be taking money away from either road resurfacing or pedestrian safety or storm sewer maintenance in order to, well, probably not storm sewer, but we'd be taking money away from either pedestrian safety or road maintenance.
Money and staff time to
Yeah.
maintain that.
And that doesn't seem like something that the Public Works Committee would get behind, because we are looking at spending more money on those things.
Right.
And without getting into too off topic, changing around some of our construction timelines to better accommodate pedestrian safety is going to increase the cost of those projects. So if you're selling gas lamps versus that, the gas lamps are going to get voted down pretty much every time. I don't think it's worth pursuing for those reasons.
Out of curiosity, do we ever have them?
That is a good question. Sandy?
I'm
not
not
there.
I don't think we've ever had them.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever had them here.
I'm not aware of it.
Not
I've
even-
never come across a reference to it. Doesn't mean that they weren't.
Well, there have been, maybe that type of lamp in other cities that
Yeah.
have real distinct districts, like Beloit, for
Mhm.
example.
Mhm.
Has huge districts of the similar houses, and they're all very ornate and very appropriate would be gas lighting.
Mhm.
And of course, a budget to go with it too, or perhaps a grant, who knows. But yeah, I don't think it would work here in Middleton. We
Yeah.
don't have enough historic districts really to designate where they would go.
Mhm. Mhm.
Not only that, but like he said, that there's a cost issue.
Yeah, and it also would require us to depart from the comprehensive plan sustainability goals.
Is it something we should run by the planning commission though? Or not?
I don't know if plan commission would be it would mostly be the Public Works Committee that would look over something, because it's in the public right of way is where we would be putting them.
Yeah, I don't think it would go to plan unless it was something that both committees wanted. limited, because why waste the plan commission's time with something that
Okay,
isn't
Isn't
ever
gonna-
going to be in the budget.
okay.
So I would say, your concerns, based on what Public Works would be looking at are really valid, and I think us as landmarks, we don't even know if there's any kind of a historical reproduction that we're actually doing, and I think that's where it stops as far as landmarks is concerned, unless somebody wants to look into it. Which I could do, I've got several Saturdays of historians. I'd be happy to research it, but at this point, I think we just table it.
I agree with you.
Well, did this recommendation, it came as a second part, or not recommendation, but question, came as the second part of his request about the plaque or having the discussion. If this is something that he wants to pursue, isn't he really maybe just going to the wrong group? He should start at the Public Works or Plan Commissions, and that once that's available, we could opine if something is selected to see if it's a significant enough period piece to fit. I don't know if I made sense with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're probably not we're not the body that he should start with.
And we don't have the information necessary at this point anyway.
Right,
It's just Christie's point about historic districts and whether or not we've designated any yet.
so Dabney, would you be the person to contact them with that?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
because I'm contacting some community
Yeah.
about the plaque, I can just let him know. Yeah.
Okay, before we go on to the staff update, can I just bring up two other things? One is the racial covenant.
Oh, yes.
Where are we on that?
We can add that as a future agenda item. I was actually just at a conference where I sat into some of those, so
Okay,
we'll probably have a lot more updates at the next meeting.
okay, excellent. And then what about the old post office renovations?
Oh, yes, so that was at our last meeting. I've already, I know you met with Elizabeth, and she went over, all the changes and she's
Yeah.
fine with them, so.
You were
I
at
let
that
them
meeting,
know.
Maria?
Yeah,
I was,
Oh, okay, so what he was planning to do is basically hide.
Madam Chair.
yeah, this can just be an update.
and I caught these on.
An update,
So,
okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
So thank you. So we don't have to go through that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so you have contacted them and they're proceeding? Okay. And that brings us to when we have an alteration, we need to update that form,
Yes.
okay? And we've never done that.
So,
Can we put that on our agenda?
yeah,
Yeah.
that would,
We'll put that all under a future, oh yeah, I didn't add them under, I didn't add a future agenda item area, so. But we'll add that as our future agenda. item.
but as part of your staff update,
Uh-huh.
you would have heard from Matt that the plan is for L&O to look at the revised ordinance in their October meeting.
Okay, thank you, great, yeah.
Because I think that what we had agreed was that we weren't gonna take up that until our ordinance was finished.
Yes.
Do we have any thoughts? Just are we waiting for the attorney?
Yeah. So we'll have an adopted ordinance, hopefully, by our October meeting.
Potentially,
Yeah,
maybe November, depending on second reading, which
oh, yeah.
would be like, we're off the agenda now.
Okay, those will all go under our future agenda. items. All right then, yeah,
Then we are staff update, certified local government,
yes.
2026 grant.
Yes, so, there's two parts of this. So the first one is the 2026 grant. So the 2026 grant cycle open for, these grants, which is the grant we got for that historical survey. And so I've already let, Jason Tisch, the Historical Society staff member, know that we're interested in possibly applying for, their 2026 grant cycle based off of, whatever we get from our survey. Our consultant Tracy Schnell let me know that there could be several different historic districts that we could be considering or that are, potentially eligible for the National Register. And so the 2026 grant cycle would be able to we would be able to hire a different consultant to help us prepare, those kinds of documents with like design guidelines and all of that for, any new districts that we might possibly have. And so, yeah, these two kind of go hand in hand because once we get the survey and she's still currently working on it, I think she needed like a month extension because there were some family health issues that delayed her a little bit.
Plus,
And
there
then-
were some documents.
Yes, and then our documents.
Historical Society, and she had to go through the microphone, which is a very labor intensive.
Yeah, and then some of our city hall documents were also being scanned, and so they weren't physically there anymore. So yeah, she had to look through a lot of places to find all the documents. So she anticipates it being completed, I think, in October. So once we get that, and we get our list of potentially eligible properties and historic districts, in our next grant cycle, we can hopefully get some of those listed on the National Register. So that's just kind of updating you guys on, the potential plan. So the letters of interest were, I think, due I think it was on Friday, this past Friday. So I've already sent it in our letter of interest. And then the whole application, I think, will open next month and closes in December. So that's just letting you guys know, I put in that letter of interest just beforehand, but we haven't actually applied or, any of that. So that's forthcoming.
Can I ask just a quick question about the certified local government? And
Yeah.
I apologize, it's not really part of the agenda, but
Oh, no.
how long are we certified for? Like, is that a?
Yeah,
is it
so
a
that's,
set period of time?
yeah, so that's, generally, I think once we're certified, we have the certifications. There's just, every year they send out, in January, just like it's like almost like a Google form. And we just have to fill it out of like, how many landmarks commission meetings did you have? How many alterations did, you guys discuss, or did you designate any new landmarks? So it's just kind of those questions that we answer every year. And so then that, keeps our certification going. So as long as we update that every year, we're usually in good standing with this, our certified local government status.
Well, there was some question about whether our ordinance.
Yes, yeah.
But if,
But
once
we
it's
fi-
passed, we
Right,
fixed it, yeah.
yeah, and they usually give us a grace period of, I think Jason was saying, like a year or two to, have those kind of things fixed. So, we were never in danger of actually losing it because we were actively working on it. So, yeah, he was fine with us having that for just a little bit.
Great. Okay.
And then the High Mountain Gmail update.
Yes, so Rob has been emailing Sandy a lot. And so, he had sent an email about, all the things that we needed to update. And so I've sent both Ruth and Maggie at the tourism department. I've sent him everything that Rob has
Yeah.
sent me
Yeah.
as well. And so,
Ruth has said she's taken down several
right,
things already.
yeah.
And changed them.
Yeah, and Maggie updated it and then she sent it to Rob and Rob didn't like the updates.
He didn't like the updates.
So they're still working through
They are.
some of those things. So I would say it's not true, like in Rob's email, he was kind of opining that we hadn't really done anything, which is not true. We
You're right.
have been working on
Yeah.
it. And then also on our end, I've asked Public Works for some of their if they have a boilerplate easement language, because at the last meeting, he wanted to get that easement
Yes.
in place on the road, just to better protect the area. And so we're getting that. And then once I get that, I'll send it over to Matt to see if our city attorney to see if he can, refine it better for the purposes of, the catalog area and then for, the two signs that we would put there.
It's this brochure that had it in.
Yeah, this is the brochure. And Mari Olson told me she's already changed the high one, so she's changed it according to what Rob says to do.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. And so.
They're going to destroy these and print new ones.
I don't know if they're gonna print new ones, because it would be very expensive, basically to either reprint or to, they were thinking of, getting stickers and putting new stickers in there, and it was basically the same cost as reprinting. So I believe for now, they just, because it's not just the high effigy mount that's in these. So for now, they're having, I believe they're putting up a sign in front of the brochure that has updated, or whenever they get agreed upon updated language, they'll have that, right in front of the brochures. so
And I think
people
they're
will know.
using a
Yeah.
QR code, are they not?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and apparently Mari also
Yeah.
says they've
So they can
updated the
fix
QR
that.
code,
Yeah.
yeah, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to bring this up again, it brings us to this, we're doing this and it goes along with the city survey.
Uh-huh.
This was done in 1998 after the survey. And how that would affect what we're talking about is we would use something like this and then we'd have to update that.
Right.
That
Yeah.
according to what Rob thinks we should think. And I asked him if he would want to put anything in here and he said,
He said something about like it wouldn't be relevant or something
well,
like
he
that.
said that you'd be better off to create a complete separate document. I thought, well, if we did that, we could use a QR code there.
You're right.
And then it could go right there
Yeah.
to it, and then we wouldn't have to do any additional stuff. So.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so we are making progress, and then the one other thing he noted in his email was that we hadn't moved the boulder with the plaque, but at our last meeting, we had decided we had until May 2026, and we would move it once he had his informational panel there.
Okay.
Because if we just remove it altogether, then there's nothing there. So, yeah, so we had decided we'll move the boulder and then, change out that plaque when he gets his panel up.
So he's gonna give us the wording.
He's gonna do all the wording himself, and we're removing like everything in here for the Time effigy mound, we're just removing.
Yeah.
So it'll just say Time effigy, or the new name of
Yes.
the effigy mound,
I can't.
Middleton landmark.
Yes.
And then I think we'll probably add like listed on the National Register on here. So there's no information to get wrong. It'll just be, the name and then.
So he'll be supplying us with that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
he's doing the whole informational panel,
Okay.
and stuff.
So I'm not talking about the one we're gonna do here.
The one we're doing. Yeah, the one we're doing will not have any language.
So we've solved all of the questions he brought up.
Yes.
That long.
Yeah, so we've made
I
decisions.
even sent it to Mike Davis, so
Oh.
because he does the tours,
Yeah.
that he would maybe contact Ron and get the correct spelling of it,
Oh, yeah.
maybe.
The new, or the proper name.
Well, he would probably only refer to it based on this brochure, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So, got that covered.
Okay.
So that's the end of the agenda.
It is. Does anyone have anything else?
We can't discuss anything.
Okay, well, we could say for future consideration.
Yeah. Anything? No.
Well, did we put on there that we're redoing the ordinance or the, what did we call it? The,
Yes,
alteration
I added
form?
the alteration form to our next agenda,
Okay.
or to future agenda items. Yep.
Okay.
Would you like to adjourn us?
Yes, 6:53. We are here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Amira.
Thank you. Bye.
What is that?